Alright, I know that video got a little bit long, so I wanted to cover the stuff I was talking about earlier. The stuff that nobody wants to talk about. Or I suppose you can say that there are a lot of people that want to talk about this stuff, but it makes society feel more comfortable if we just ignore the fact. And I listened to, I want to say it was like David Icke. And now I'm not like super into him or anything, but he did mention about, I suppose I can say, the Federal Reserve, or like the fiat currency, or how money is fake. But my favorite thing that he talks about is how it's like almost like an energetic source that is like a vampire and takes from us. And even though it is just massively printed and generated and holds no true value, on our psyche, it holds great power over us. And think about how many people kill one another, or just how deep rooted into our roots or psychological programming or our childhood, or just how we are forced to make money in order to keep a roof over our head and to keep eating. And a lot of people talk about how fucked up society would be if we didn't have some sort of control. But really, it's just an illusion to keep people in place. And then the system goes even deeper, how the rich just get richer. And there's tons of homework on that nobody is really allowed to disclose, or I almost want to say gaslighting. Like, it's like, don't look at this, distraction, but it's also hidden in plain sight. Like, as if it's better for their karma if it's right in our faces, so it's like we can know if we want to know. There's been a couple people that have actually come out and talked about this. There's tons of them, actually. A lot of them that are dead now. Like, Prince came out talking about Illuminati and chemtrails. And then George Carlin, he's one of my favorites. And now let's look at, what's his name? Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is coming clean about so many different things. And he's gone through such a deep cleansing. And there's tons of people that are literally concerned about his well-being, because he is just bringing so much awareness to, you could say, Satanism and the one world agenda. There's tons of conspiracy theories, and a lot of them don't really make a lot of sense. And like I said before, a lot of them are meant to distract you and just really have nothing to do with the bigger picture. And some are just far-fetched out there, or people that just have nothing better to do than to create an uproar, whatever. Energy draining, psychic vampires feeding upon us. And it literally will make you sick. Literally. There are times where I get physically ill when I'm doing my empathic healing work with people, and I can just feel everything. Ugh. And there's so much evidence, and I feel like there's so much more homework I need to do in order for me to be properly educated or qualified to be able to talk about these things. But as an intuitive, there are just things that I've known since I was a kid and things that I've been drawn to. I clearly have a lot of homework to continuously be doing, and I appreciate any content that you'd like to send my email to keep me pursuing things. And I also would like some form of communication of knowing other topics you'd like me to cover. I've heard multiple people bitch basically how I don't talk. Maybe there's a reason for that. My mind just a lot of intellectual curiosity and daydreamer. Oh, brother. I'm just like in sensory overload right now with so many things going on. I'm like feeding off all the energy of all the people that are here watching this now, even though that's in the future. I can totally sense that. And I can feel other things coming my way as well that I'm basically generating as I'm projecting my energetic field. But the main thing I feel is curiosity and a hunger. A hunger that no food or human being could ever fuel me. It's like I seek knowledge and I seek to travel. One of the biggest things on my bucket list right now is actually I want to go to Egypt. I need to, as the sensitive that I am, I need to get hands-on with the pyramids. I need to get hands-on with my feet in the desert sand and walk. I'd like to see the Sphinx. I'd like to see the world's largest museum. Or should I say outdoor museum? I don't know everything. I know that I can be a fool. And I know I still have so much more left to learn. And I am very hungry to learn. I'm supposed to be starting college in January. I need to figure out what I'm majoring in specifically. I'm considering doing something that, like, I can go right into the work field after doing so, just so I can have some stable financial income without having to be a slave to the system, which is basically the main thing that I was wanting to cover earlier. It's like how much I hate this horrible system, how we are forced to be slaves and work, and just a lot of it is undervalued. Like almost everything we do is undervalued, and we are so overpopulated, they just don't care. Nobody cares. People are so self-centered and focused, and to be frank with you, it seems like we are almost trained to be this way at a young age. Yeah. Garbage. All of it's garbage. It's not supposed to be this way, but in some aspects it is. It's all part of the process of the collective going through the energetic shift, and I suppose through destruction comes new life. But I'd like to see it occur in a more gentle way. But I suppose, in the words of Rancid, it takes disaster to learn a lesson. Barf. Barf. Just sickening. Sickening. But, a little bit back to myself. My fantasy is to pursue traditional Chinese medicine. And irony, it's my initials, Trina Christine Mason, TCM. Something I'm very passionate about. I love doing tongue diagnosis. And I'd like to learn the pulses. I know a little bit, but not as well as I would like. I need to get more hands-on. And my focus, as you can see, isn't all there. I am very scattered. I am very passionate and interested in multiple different things. You can say I'm a multidimensional being, and it never stops. Nor would I ever really want it to. And no matter can be created or destroyed. It can only change form. So one must keep that in mind when thinking of death and everything else. It's quite frustrating. I'd like to be surrounded in person with more people who completely understand where I'm coming from. Sometimes when I'm with my father, it's like he's one of the only people that completely understands. And my acupuncturist. And there are times where even then, with people that are similar to me, where it's like they don't want to hear the other aspect, which for me is my spirituality, or other things that I'm struggling to verbalize right now, things that just go on inside. That's another benefit that will come from my higher education. Hopefully I'll be able to express myself better in a healthier concept. One of my biggest battles right now is also actually conflicting with negative thoughts and emotions. Like, I understand that it does nothing but hinder my growth and development, and by telling myself I can't or won't, or telling yourself you're not good enough, all this stuff is like preconditioned programming in our subconscious that just leaves us in this little bubble that we just can't seem to escape. But that is our choice. And I believe that we can be reprogrammed and we can have positive thinking. But a lot of it comes from within, and I don't believe that we can really, truly heal anyone. What we're doing is we are creating a space so grace may enter and authentic healing can begin. I got that from my Reiki master, Heather. She's been very magical and helpful on my journey, and I thank you who have been financially supportive so I can continue seeing her and doing multiple healing sessions that have just been most charming, to say the least. And thanks to that, I am a Reiki master now. However, legally, I can't do any hands-on work until I have a masseuse license, which isn't really something I want to do, nor pay the $10,000 to do so. With all of this finally off my chest, I think I'm going to try to get a little bit more rest. And I still need to eat. I haven't really eaten much lately. So, this is me signing out and going off to take care of myself and try to enjoy this glorious day in Colorado. Bye, y'all.